A tree is known by its fruit. That's what we're going to be talking about today.
All right. Let's do it.
Sure?
Yeah, let's do it.
You're going to let them see the countdown?
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, guys.
Stop it.
Sunday night for us, Monday morning for you guys.
It sure is.
Man, we had a blessed day today.
Good morning, everybody.
Today was Jessica and Eduardo's first time singing for worship.
And first time Rihanna leading.
First time Rihanna is leading. I don't know about you guys.
I was blessed.
But I was very blessed, very impressed. I was so happy.
Me too.
Happy. Like those penguins, happy feet.
Yeah. I was worshiping and praising, and I was just like, I was so blessed. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah?
It was beautiful.
Yeah, so we had a great service. Wow. You know, a lot of new faces actually came.
Yeah.
And showed up and appreciate all of you.
A lot of new beautiful people we got to meet.
And then we had some great fellowship afterwards. Mm-hmm. And we just got home. It's 10:19. We've been home about 30 minutes.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, so we had a great time, guys. And I really hope you guys were able to see the Sunday service. If not, it's going to show up on the YouTube, which is probably up by the time you're watching this. Mm-hmm. You know, but, you know, I just want to take a minute to say that we appreciate you guys so much.
Yeah, we do.
Really, truly do, you know.
And you know what? I want to wish my beautiful sister, Rena.
Yes, Anthony's wife.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, happy birthday, sister
Happy
Rena.
birthday.
Yeah,
I didn't even know it was her birthday. And then I guess Anthony had texted me in the middle of my sermon, but I didn't know because obviously my phone's off during my preaching.
And then the one day that I actually don't go on, I usually always go on there and say...
Oh, did he say it on the comments?
I think so after. And I always go on there and say, good morning, family. And the one day that I don't go on there and say, good morning, family, because I was actually busy doing some stuff and running around, I didn't get a chance to go on there today. But, you know, I was like, man, I found out it was Rena's birthday towards, I think around altar call, or something like that. I
look back at my text. I think he texted me probably right before I preached. Mm-hmm. I think it was about 10:50. Yeah. But I think I was already on the stage. I think you were sharing about the whatever it is that you shared about. I think around that time is when he texted me. But I mean, I'm not gonna. Well, first of all, my phone ringer's off. But even if I wouldn't be looking at my phone while you're giving an announcement.
Yeah, it's not like the Bible study. But happy birthday, beautiful sister. You know, I know it was somebody had asked me if I can sing for Rachel too. It was Rachel's birthday as well, and I totally forgot to sing for Rachel. Rachel, happy birthday to you too, sister. And then Naomi's birthday as well. It was, oh my God, all these beautiful sisters' birthdays.
Her birthday ain't till...
I know, on Tuesday.
2 more days.
And I was like, man,
tomorrow for them.
Totally dropped the ball on that one too. And so, but you know what? I was like, you know what? I really, really want to get together with them because I know Super Bowl is next week and everything. And I'm like, okay, you men are going to be doing some stuff. So I'm hoping that I can get together with some of my sisters and spend some time with them and steal them away next week, which would be amazing. So I'm hoping that I can do that. That would be an amazing time for me to just steal them away.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on another note, happy birthday, sister. I pray that you had an amazing, beautiful, blessed Sunday on your special day. And we wish you many, many blessings on your birthday, sis. To you, to Rachel, and upcoming birthday, Naomi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This week, with you doing a lot of the, just a lot of the stuff we do at the beginning of the year for the church and all that, and I had to renew our nonprofit status and stated
our licensing,
Secretary of
a lot of our
State.
licensing stuff and everything as well.
And and I had some questions, and I was able to talk to Pastor Larry, who's the Vice President of Grace International. And once again, guys, it reminded me how grateful I am of having a covering.
Yes, me too.
Especially in this day and age when, you hear so much. You hear of church abuse. You hear of pastoral abuse. You hear so many things. A podcast I was listening to, and I'm just like, where they had no covering, everything stopped and ended at the pastor. And that's very dangerous, especially when that pastor refused. He straight up refused to submit to anybody else. And I'm just like, what is that? And just listening to that, and I'm just like, I'm so thankful for Grace International. I truly am, man, because, I was looking at some of the paperwork, because you had asked me something, and I wish it left my mind again, but I think it started in 1930 something. So I was adding the time. I'm like, that's almost 90 years of ministry, 90 years of a covering, 90 years.
Yeah.
And that's a huge legacy,
Yeah, and I'm thankful for that too, because I know that we were gonna seek counsel outside of the covering for a moment, and
not marriage.
No, not marriage counseling, guys. For in regards to some of the paperwork that we needed to do. And I looked at David and I was like, we actually have our covering and everything.
What are they there for?
That's what they're there for. And, maybe we need to go to them. This is what they're there for. They're there for us to be able to, to glean off of them. They're there for us to ask any questions, and they're there to guide us. And I said, can we reach out to our covering? Can we reach out to, the vice president? Can we reach out to our, our regional and districts and talk to them so that we can learn from them, so we can learn how they do things and everything. And I think that was really, really important. And I am so glad that we did, guys, because the only way that we're going to learn how to do things and everything is if we ask. And I'm really happy that we did, because we got some amazing counsel from them, and that's what the covering is there for.
Yeah, I mean, why would I not make a phone call to somebody that's in our covering that's been in ministry over 35 years?
Absolutely.
Why not? You know what I mean? So yeah, man,
they're gonna steer us the right
way.
And
hearing some of the stuff on podcasts, I'm just like, man.
Yeah.
I'm just really, I'm glad and I'm grateful, and then it shapes who we are, and it shapes how we will be, how we will continue to grow ourselves, and how
absolutely, and how we're going to steer others as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because it's a domino effect, and I think that we want to exemplify that as well, and we want to be able to give that same advice to others as well. Yeah.
So when we showed, when I called Eli up in the beginning of the service and we were showing the pictures on the PowerPoint, they weren't able to see. I completely forgot to have Benjamin load them on OBS. So they were not able to see. Oh, so guys, as I'm talking right now, these are the pictures that he was talking about. Obviously, there's no commentary to it, but I just want to show you some of the pictures of the Philippines and then of Mexico when he just got back from there, and these photos, guys, are the ones that we were showing to the congregation. And the last picture is actually a flyer that Sharon made for Eli. And the reason we're putting that is because it has his website information. You still have that on your phone, right? The one you made? The real nice one.
Oh, yes. Yes, yeah. I do.
So, guys, that is how to get a hold of him or support what it is that he's doing. So hopefully you were able to see those pictures. I apologize for not putting those in the OBS.
Ooh, is my bag right
or
there?
in the live
Nelson?
stream.
Get that bag because I have a mug in there.
This bag?
Yes, sir. Get the mug in there. Yes. We were able to purchase our mug from him, and you'll be able to get the mugs from. They're really cool. I like his mug. See? Look at that.
I need to help him revamp his website, though.
Yeah.
He has a website. It's just very simple and straightforward. But maybe we can make him add some things to his website.
Yeah, it's a really nice mug, guys, which is really nice because he's selling these, to help his ministry, which is really, really beautiful. The ministry that he's doing, and we bought 2 of them today so that we can, help support the ministry as well. And you can actually go, through his site and all of that, so you guys can, see how you can get a mug, through him and stuff. Yeah. But
he's gonna go look. We're gonna help him look for a van. Well, he's been looking, but we told him we'd like to help him on a day because he don't know about some of these places with lots and stuff. And even Tomas said he actually messaged his friend at Ford.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had a friend that's a salesman at Ford, and he answered back.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
wonderful.
The Lord's going to open the door when the Lord wants to open the door, and that's the way God works. God will put people in front of you that a lot of times you don't have access to what you need, but somebody knows somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Lord guides the hearts of kings any which way he pleases, So anyways, guys, I want
something else that I want really, it just left my mind. Something else that I needed to bring up. It'll come back to me. It was important. It'll come back to me.
All right.
Yeah.
So, guys, we're going to talk about this passage in the Gospel of Matthew. And it's a powerful passage. Matthew chapter 12. Verse 33 to 37. So it's 5 verses, and these are the words of Jesus, right? And it's titled, obviously in the original Bible it doesn't have titles, but in my Bible it's titled, A Tree Known by Its Fruit. And in the words of Jesus, it says this. It says, either make the tree good and its fruit good, or else make the tree bad and its fruit bad. For a tree is known by its fruit. Brood of vipers, how can you, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure brings forth evil things. But I say to you that for every idle word men may speak, they will give account of it in the day of judgment. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned.
Amen. David reads out of the New King James, and I'll be reading out of the Message. And in the Message it says, if you grow a healthy tree, you'll pick healthy fruit. If you grow a diseased tree, you'll pick worm-eaten fruit. The fruit tells you about the tree. You have minds like a snake pit. How do you suppose that you say is worth anything when you are so foul-minded? If your heart, not the dictionary, that gives meaning to your words. A good person produces good deeds and words season after season. An evil person is a blight on the orchard. Let me tell you something. Every one of these careless words is going to come back to haunt you. There will be a time of reckoning. Words are powerful. Take them seriously. Words can be your salvation. Words can also be your damnation.
Wow. So as you can see right here, man, Jesus is not playing. This is the words of Jesus. He is not playing. And he starts off right away. Where does it start? Yeah, if you grow a healthy tree, you'll pick healthy fruit. I have been in ministry now
18 years?
No, in ministry.
Oh, in ministry.
It's gonna be 11 years.
Right when you got out?
It's gonna be 11 years. Well, a year after I got out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be 11 years. Yeah, because we celebrated 10 years last year, right? In May.
Years.
Yeah. And there's one thing I've learned, man, and it's crazy, right? It's so hard because you hear it, you see it out, like, away from you, but it's hard to catch in front of you. And it's this. Some people know how to talk Christianese. They know how to talk, but if you really look at their life, the fruit is wicked and rotten. And I know some people, babe, that love God, but maybe they don't know how to talk like that. They don't know how to share. They don't know how to express. But my God, the fruit is plentiful.
Yeah.
And for some reason, we get so tricked by not by the fruit. We get so tricked by the tree. Big tree.
But the roots are
no
so
fruit
rotten.
with no fruit in the tree.
Yeah, because the roots are rotten.
Yeah, and I like the way it says you grow a healthy tree, you'll pick healthy fruit. If you grow a diseased tree, you'll pick worm-eaten fruit. The fruit tells you about the tree.
Yeah.
And so many people, including myself, man, I have sometimes fell for the okey doke when I've met brothers. And man, they know how to talk. Man, they know how to minister. Man, they know how to pray. Like I don't consider myself a prayer warrior. There are people that pray and you're just like, wow, you're just like eloquent, beautiful words. Like their prayers, they sound like poems.
Yeah.
But the fruit of their life is rotten. And I trip out on that. Like it confuses me. I'm like, how is it possible that you can pray like that?
Well, they keep it moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
They keep it moving. They keep it moving to new people every time. So a lot of the times when you keep it moving, it's new faces, and new faces don't always know you, So when you keep it moving.
Yeah, I just trip out because then I've met some just simple brothers or sisters that love God, man.
When you stay long in one place, you allow people to get to know you.
Yeah.
And when people get to know you, they get to know the real you.
Yeah.
You allow people to get to know you.
Mm-hmm.
They get to know all of you. They get to know your life. They get to know your family. They get to know all of you.
Yeah.
And there's really not much of you to get to find out about you. You know what I'm saying? Because they know you.
Yeah. No. I'm sorry. What?
No, that's
this is kind of why I mentioned Grace International too, though, is because don't get me wrong, a pastor can still go bad under Grace International, but I will say this: at least there's a filter or a vetting that happens, because you cannot get your license, you cannot get your ordination without you. They literally
you can be booted.
They want you to fill out this application. They want you to write literally your testimony. They want to know, like for me, I had to write an essay on my salvation story of what happened. They wanted to know my baptism, what happened when I was baptized in water. They wanted to know if I had received the baptism of the Holy Ghost and what happened in the essay form. Yeah. Then there was a phone call. Then there was a meeting, with some of the committee. And so there's a filter, a somewhat of a vetting at least, right? Because just the craziness that's going on, right? So I like that because it creates a safety barrier, It's kind of like how, can you imagine if a brain surgeon or heart surgeon, imagine if they didn't have to go through schooling, didn't have to get licenses, didn't have to get nothing. They're just like, hey, I'm a brain surgeon. Then you wouldn't know who to go to.
Yeah.
And the government and the state creates a criteria that they can't even say that they're surgeons without reaching at least now, it doesn't mean there ain't bad surgeons, but at least it weeds out. You know what I mean? Can you imagine if there was nothing, no criteria? And so why I say that to say this, right, is a lot of times, guys, I get it. People say, I don't need a piece of paper, I don't need this and that, but where is that coming from? Because it could be coming from pride. It could be coming from pride.
Yeah, but you could turn it around too. How about those who just get a piece of paper to do nothing either?
Yeah.
You just sit on it.
Exactly.
You know, it's either or. You know, I've seen doctors I've seen people who go to. I used to know somebody, okay, who got a doctorate, who went through so much schooling because he said, if I keep myself in school for so long and continue to go to school and just continue to go to school, I'll never have to pay back my
the
student loans. As long as he's always enrolled in school,
that's
he
true.
will not have to pay student loans. And I'm like, so he kept getting degrees and degrees and degrees. And I'm like, you're getting all these degrees, but you're not putting them to use. And it made no sense to me.
But wasn't that just adding to his student loan every time?
Yes, but it just made no sense to me. But he kept getting degrees and degrees and degrees, and I'm just like, and he ended up with a doctorate. He could have been a judge, you know? And I'm like, this guy was just smart though, but then didn't want to do anything with it, you know? And it's like you get to a certain point too, and it's like, you know, for what? You know, I mean, if you're not going to do anything with it.
No, they don't do it up here in Northern California, but I heard in Southern California that every food place has a grade. Is that true?
Yes.
Explain that, because I don't really know.
Well, they go in, you have inspectors. One of my friends, actually, Nina, she was actually the ones that would go out and grade. She was one of the inspectors. And she would go and grade. It's an A, B, and a C, and you would eat. I think it would have. What was it?
The D was probably a warning, right?
It was really bad, yeah. But they would go out. The food inspectors would go out and grade. And once you get to a certain grade, they would actually, after a certain amount of time, they would give you a certain amount of time to rectify it. If you didn't rectify it, you'd get shut down. And they would actually make you put it on the window.
Yeah.
And people, once they see that grade on there for so long, you really don't want to go there anyways.
So if you
lose business.
So if you went to a Chinese food or taqueria and this one had A and this one had C,
and you have C for a long time,
where are you going to go? You're going to go to the A, right?
You're going to go to the A, but that C is going to lose a lot of business. And after a while, if that C is losing so much business for so long, it's going to eventually shut down, you know, because you're not making any money.
Well, I imagine a C grade, people would just keep it moving and not go in.
Yeah.
So I remember going to LA and I remember seeing that and I'm like, why does every place, like everything,
They don't have that out here?
No.
I never even noticed that.
Yeah. Everything, guys. It could be a taqueria. It could be a 5-star restaurant. They're all of them on the door.
Graded.
So the ones that have A's, boom, right in the front door, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, and I'm just like,
people are proud of that.
Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because that means, can you imagine? That means their kitchen is immaculate.
Yeah.
That means under the cupboards there ain't no roaches.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no rodents. It is a grade A, and I imagine inspectors come in unannounced.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you know, I waitressed for 12 years, you know, many, many years ago. And, man, I'll tell you, you know, Denny's is a all year round restaurant, 24 hours, you know. And I'll tell you, when we would have to do those, when we would have to do the deep cleaning, it was just crazy. Mm-hmm. But that's what you would have to do in order to try to keep a really good grade.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, just to try to keep your average A and B grade is to really do deep cleaning.
So, you know, kind of in a funny way, sometimes what if churches did that? And not that I say that I ever want that implemented, but what would it be like if inspectors would come and say, did I feel welcome? Did the Holy Spirit move in this place? Is there a stirring of the Holy Spirit? Is the Lord, you know what I mean? Can you imagine churches having grades in the front?
Can you imagine if Jesus came in?
Ooh. You know, that would be very interesting, you know, because, again,
that'd be really sad. I feel that Jesus would be I feel like Jesus' heart would be very heartbroken.
Well, you know, I think that some would think, oh, it's going to get judged by by how elegant it looks, by how great the sound system sounds, by how, and the Lord's like, no. What's the word being preached? How's the worship? See, the thing is about Jesus, he's not looking for Whitney Houston. That's a singer, right? Mm-hmm. Whitney Houston voices. He's looking for a heart of worship.
Yes.
He's looking for people that worship him in spirit and in truth. That's what moves the heart of God. And I hope that it's the same thing with preaching. Because I don't have big eloquent words myself. And I'm just like, Lord, if you're judging, if you would judge preaching by eloquent words, then man, I got an F. But I truly believe, because when I preach, I'm like, God, just move. Move, Lord God. When I preach a sermon, let it be you. Whatever it is that you're whispering in my ear. So my thing is never like, man, I hope the Lord speaks today. My prayers when I preach is, God, let me preach what you're saying in my ear and not mess it up by the time it comes out of my mouth.
Yeah. It's like that song I was hearing earlier. It's just like, I just want to bless your name. I just want to move your heart and give you all I have.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, and then it says, 34, brood of vipers, how can you, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So you're going to speak out what's in your heart.
Yeah.
And that is why a lot of times we have to be careful. You have to be careful. And actually, sometimes we got to listen to what we're saying. Because sometimes we think we're critiquing someone or something. But if you really look at it, you feel a certain type of way in your heart. So you're not really criticizing in a way that's helpful.
Yeah, because we got to remember what comes forth from the mouth is what manifests,
Yeah.
And we speak life. That's what comes forth,
Yeah. So a lot of times we got to be really, really careful with that, because what we think is a critique, what we think is when we share about somebody, for instance, are you sure? Are you sharing? Or are you gossiping?
Yeah.
What's the heart of it? What's the core of this thing? Of everything that we talk about, of everything, everyone, every church, every ministry, whatever it is, when you mention it, I'm truly convinced, man, that unfortunately, I feel that there's people even in the Modesto area that feel a certain type of way about us. And I just feel it. I can't shake it. Sometimes I try, no, why? I mean, we're just serving God. I mean, why? But I just feel it. I'm just being real. I'm just being honest, but out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure brings forth evil things. But I say to you, Jesus says that at every idle word men may speak, they will give account of it in the day of judgment.
But I think that's why it's so important, guys, that whenever you feel something towards somebody, or whenever you want to say something, it's always important just to always be open and honest with that person directly, because it never leaves room for anybody to ever come and say something or anything. If you feel something, it's always good to just, share with that person directly,
Yeah.
Yesterday we sat down with a young couple, and, and instead of talking to somebody else about what I felt about, what I felt about this person, oh man, there should be accountability with this person or this and that. I said it directly to the person, I said, listen, this is really, really important, and I need accountability from you. I need a phone call from you, or I need this, directly to the person, instead of coming and complaining to my husband or complaining to somebody else or doing anything like that. It's better to say it to the person, because the moment you say it to somebody else, it almost seems like you're complaining to somebody else about that person, and what that does, it leaves room for the enemy, to make it look like you're talking about somebody. So those things are really, really important, for you to be very, very direct with somebody. And I think honesty is important. Honesty is important, and you wouldn't say something to someone unless you love them, And a lot of the time, I think I think it's important, because if I really truly feel that somebody's going to come and talk to me about something, it's because they love me, you know and I love when somebody's going to come and talk to me, not just because I'm a pastor's wife, that you can't come and talk to me and be like, you know what, Sister Sharon, um, I can you maybe do this way, because that's not the correct way of doing it. Man, come and correct me, please. If I'm not doing something right, please correct me. I can take correction, because not everything I do is correct. I'm open for correction. I'm open to learning. I love correction, because I'm able to take correction. A lot of people think that, you can't correct. You can correct with love. We're supposed to be able to learn how to be teachable. We're supposed to have a teachable spirit. And if we cannot have a teachable spirit, then we better really check ourselves, honestly. We have to learn to check ourselves, because we need to have a teachable spirit in everything that we do, within our families, within ministry, within the things of God. Because if we cannot, then we really got to take it to prayer and really see what the root cause is, really.
Yeah. I know I read it, but there was something that jumped out at me in this translation. Oh, right here. How do you suppose what you say is worth anything when you are so foul-minded? It's your heart, not the dictionary, that gives meaning to your words. That is deep.
Yeah.
I love the way sometimes the Message Bible messes it, but that right there is powerful.
Yeah.
It's not the dictionary that gives you your words meaning. It's the intent of your heart.
Yeah.
What does your heart put to that? What is your heart saying to that? Everything comes down to heart issues, guys. What's the heart issue of it? And like I think I was saying in the sermon today, the conversation we had, like, can you imagine if you had a vision of every single person in front of you? Remember, I said that today. Remember that conversation?
Yeah, it wasn't today that we said it. It was
No, I know. I said it.
Another day that we were talking.
I said it in the
Yeah,
sermon.
you did. You did.
And it's like, it's the intent, man, of the heart of what it is being said, and sometimes we say words that are loaded, and they can be hurtful, and they can break people, Let me see it again. There's another. Where's it at? Where are we at here?
You know why he said that, guys? I love being an open book, and I'm gonna tell.
That was what I wanted to do.
I'm gonna tell you guys why that came up in a conversation, because I remember we were driving, and I remember telling David, I said, David, man, I just love doing God's work, and I told you I love doing ministry. I love it. I love it. And then I told him, I said, but sometimes that there has been, some people that have made it very, very hard to do ministry, and it's sometimes certain people and some people that have made it very hard. And I told him that in the past, that those people have made it very, that it's tired me, and that I wish that if it wouldn't have tired me then, that I would have, that I've put so much of my effort into that time that it made me, I guess it tired me out, and that now I feel like I don't have the same stamina and the strength to give to the people that deserve all of me now. And, and that's where I just kind of feel like, I just feel like that's why it's made ministry harder, now. But I love ministry. And I guess, it just put me in that position. And then that's where he gave me that words of wisdom, because guys,
Did that jack you up?
It did.
You never told me.
It really did, because I told him, babe, because I love ministry. But, it was those moments of the tiredness, because I feel like the people that came and went, just like, it almost like they sucked that life out of me for that moment, and I just kind of felt like, man, I just wish I just had that same strength and everything, because I came so chipper, so excited, so on, like, and I just feel like they just stripped that from me. And now I just feel like the people that are here now, and I feel like I don't have that same Sharon to give them all of that. And I'm just like, but they deserve that Sharon, and I'm just like, I'm dragging my feet, and I just kind of felt, and then I'm just like, and he came to me and he gave me that. And I'm just like, really, David?
I forgot what I said. I forgot in what way I said it.
But it was in a way that you said it that just made me think, and but you know what it did to me? It made me just like really just talk to the Lord and be like, Lord, you know what? It just made me be like, okay, Lord, I need to just continue drawing my strength from you, because I need to be that Sharon again, because I can't allow what I feel that was taken from me. I can't allow the enemy to keep making me feel like that can never be me again,
Yeah, I think what else, I'm probably not going to say it exactly the same, but maybe this will speak to somebody that's watching this. Is I said something to the effect of this. And I said, I wish the Lord would show you a vision or a dream of every single person that is hard for you to minister to. And if you would just see them, like I said, and then I use that, what's that Christmas?
Scrooge.
The Scrooge story, whatever. Remember how he has a vision of his past, present, and future? I said, can you imagine if the Lord took you to the past of every person that you struggle with, and you were able to see firsthand what it is that broke them? I said, I think you would talk to them different. Something like that.
Yeah.
And you just kind of stayed quiet. You didn't say nothing, and then it stayed me quiet, because then it made me think of, there's people that get on my nerves, and it's like, would I be a little different or sympathetic or something if I saw why they were broken in the first place, why they were rebellious, why they were argumentative, why they were, manipulative, why they were argument, just, well, you name it, whatever it is, why? And maybe things would be different at that point. Just maybe. Remember that story I told you about the bus that Pete had said?
Yeah. See, guys, we go through it too, guys. I go through it too. But I'm want to be transparent. It's I think it's only fair that we be honest with you guys too, and be transparent. We can't always be the happy-go-lucky people, and everything, but I think it's important, because we have to make this relevant, to our lives. And I think that this is the only way that you guys can glean, is by us being truthful. But it's the truth.
Yeah.
But the bus, about when he went over there and he says, about being blessed by the bus.
Or what? No.
Okay.
So my friend Pete, right? he said this story, and I've shared it in sermons, and I've shared it, but in case somebody of you never heard it, I think there's a perfect way for me to end the video as far as what I'm going to say. I'm not sure if you want to add more. But there was a man on the bus with a child,
Oh
and
yeah,
and
yeah,
they're
yeah.
going down on a long trip, and the kid was being unruly, being loud, messing with people's stuff, and the dad was just looking out the window, wouldn't even pay attention, wouldn't tell his kid to stop, wouldn't correct or bring discipline to the child, nothing. The kid was just off the wall, just all over the place, and people are getting mad. They're getting mad, right? So then they stopped for a quick 10 minutes at a little stop so they could eat and use the bathroom or whatnot. And when they saw the father and the kid go to the bathroom, that was their chance. So the people on the bus told the bus driver, "Hey, you need to tell that man that he can't get back on the bus because what a horrible father he is. This kid is terrorizing us, and all he's doing is looking out the window the whole time. Either he gets off this bus or we get off this bus." And the bus driver didn't know what to say, and he just like, "Well, okay. I mean, okay, it's just, you know, he just buried his wife. He's coming back from his wife's funeral." And they're just like, "His wife died?" And all of a sudden it made sense why he was in a gaze staring out the window. So then they dropped it, and then the man came out of the bathroom with the kid, and they all got back in the bus. So all of a sudden, they're all showing love to this child. Everybody on the bus. The kid was still terror. The kid was still messing with stuff. But because they understood the backstory, they had compassion, and they realized this must be a really good father, but he's so broken right now because he lost his wife. So they all started loving on this child. So what changed? The kid was still terror. You know what? And the man never stopped looking out the window. What changed was the perspective, because they now understood what it is that was breaking, what was causing this to happen. So there's somebody in your life that is being a terror to you. Ask the Lord to reveal to you. And you might not like what you learn and see if the Lord shows you why that person is the way they are.
Yeah.
And it doesn't change them. But I always say this. Maybe it'll change your perspective though. You know, and I've learned that myself as a pastor is if I don't constantly try to find a different perspective, I would be bitter, I'd be angry, I'd probably be fighting some of my congregation, you know. But I've always from the beginning, you know, I've always said, "Lord, you need to show me a 360. And I think I even talked about that at the end of the sermon. Help me to see things through their shoes, because I don't understand it from my end. They're getting on my nerves. And a lot of times, like, the Lord shows me, and then it gives me compassion."
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, that's what I wanted to say. I'm not sure if you want to
No,
say
yeah,
anything more.
that's good, you know, and I think it's I think it's I think it was really, really good that you shared that with me, you know. You know, I have always been a very I'm not a I'm not a confrontational person either. I know you've always said that you're never a confrontational person. I've never
I
been
don't
a
like it.
yeah. I don't like it either. I'm always a person who, you know, I'm not a confrontational person either. I think I'm a person who likes to reason, and I like to you know, I love and I walk away from issues and stuff like that, but I definitely I like to kind of reason and kind of find peace in things, you know, and everything, but I'm not afraid to speak up
Mm.
and stuff like that. That's for sure. But I don't argue. I'm not argumentative or anything like that. I like things to be peaceful. Um, you know, and I I've learned, you know, I don't lose from ever apologizing for something I've never done. I'm the type of person that would, you know, learn to love somebody through even their hardships and their wrongs and everything, and I'll love them through it regardless. you know, and that's always been my heart. But I've learned throughout this year, I've learned throughout the last few years, and I've grown so much. Um, but I was really, really, really grateful when you shared that with me, because it did. And it's not that it messed me up. It didn't mess me up,
Made you
but
think?
it did make me think. It made me think, because the one thing that I've never stopped doing is I've it's not ministry that I love. What I love is doing God's work, you know. I just I never get tired of doing his work. I just love doing his work. Um and I love his people. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I love his people, and I love doing his work for his people. And I'm always going to, I think that's what makes me happy. And as long as I'm doing it, you know, I'm always, I think that's what gives me life, and that's what I love to do. And I realize that I'm gonna be dealing with every walk of life, you know, and everything, but I had never just put it into that perspective.
Yeah.
You know, I had not stopped to think of it that way. So I'm glad that when you pointed that out, I really have to stop and analyze that and think, like, you know what is that person going through, you know? So, yeah, I'm glad that you pointed that out.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good devotional. Good talk. Hopefully, you got something out of this. You got something out of the context of the scripture, what it is that Jesus was talking about. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yes. Enjoy your coffee, guys.
Bye.
See you later.